All right, so we're recording now. Welcome everyone. This is the student role information session for CommonHealth. My name is Anne-Marie Finley. I'm a co-editor-in-chief on the journal with my counterpart, Maura. I am a fourth-year doc student in the Communication Sciences and Disorders program. So wrapping up, I served on the journal for just over a year now. And it's time for me to step down so that I can focus on my own work and graduating, hopefully. So I am very happy that all of you are here. I'm excited to share with you about CommonHealth, and I'll let Maura introduce herself now.
Yeah, hi. Hello, everyone. Happy to see people who are here in person, and also hoping that this reaches some people who were not able to attend. So yeah, I am also a fourth year doctoral candidate in the Communication Sciences and Disorders Department in the College of Public Health. As Anne-Marie said, the co-editor-in-chief position is a joint one. So I have been lucky enough to serve as co-editor-in-chief alongside Anne-Marie for a little bit over a year. And we're in a similar situation with needing to step down and let some new people into the position so that we can, so that I can, well, we're not doing our dissertations together. So that I can focus on completing my dissertation and graduating. So yeah, welcome to everybody. We're so happy that you are here. And without any further ado, we will get started with sharing some information about the journal.
All right. So again, welcome. This is just an example of some of the covers of the journal over the years. The journal started as a collaboration between faculty and students in 2019, a series of meetings with the Dean of Research and David Sarwer and Jen Ibrahim, who's now the acting dean of the college, kind of grew into this journal that focuses on public health, which is pretty common for journals, but in something that I think is really special and that we pride ourselves on. We try to act as a scaffolded training opportunity for students across all levels of the college and across the university to hone their skill set in academic writing and gain some familiarity with how the system works, in particular behind the scenes. So this is an online-only journal. The QR code up on the upper right-hand corner of this slide will take you to the landing page for the journal website. There you can find a little bit more information about the types of articles that we accept. All of our issues are available via open access licensing. They are peer-reviewed, so we do hold to a peer review process, but maintain an open access status, which is really important. I personally am a big believer in open science, and I'm lucky enough to be part of a program in a college that is also a big believer in open science. So we're open to everyone to submit. All we ask is that at least one author has an academic affiliation or a research institution affiliation of some sort, although we do look to include authors and content relevant to people not only in academia, but also in our broader North Philadelphia community, and the surrounding neighborhood. So that's kind of my summary. Welcome to the journal. If anyone has questions, feel free to put them in the chat if you'd like to. But again, we will have that Q&A section at the end. All right, and now I will move it on to Maura.
Yes, so as Anne-Marie said, the journal is really a collaborative effort between students and faculty members, which is a very neat experience and a great opportunity for students because you get to work alongside faculty members and not only get an inside view of how an academic journal runs, but also you get to sort of be there for shared decision making and hear different rationales from faculty members and people who have much more experience in academic publishing, which is a very unique experience, and it makes the process, I have found that being privy to these conversations and thought processes has made the process of submitting to journals and sort of being in the peer review process as an author, it has made it a little bit more manageable, I guess, or tolerable, because I understand that, it's a process. There's lots of different moving pieces. So that's one benefit that I would say, just sort of related to the shared governance between students and faculty members. But moving on to give you all a little bit of information about the editorial board. Oh wait, Amory, I think we're still on the other slide. So yeah, the role of the editorial board is broadly speaking to contribute to shared decision-making on matters that affect the journal. So this could be something like sharing feedback or input on what the cover design should be for an upcoming issue, or, if we have a tricky situation with a paper, getting people's feedback on how to move forward with a manuscript that's been submitted. So the shared decision-making is one role of the editorial board. Also, we call on our editorial board members to serve as peer reviewers for manuscripts that have been submitted. Of course, this is only when appropriate, or when we have an editorial board member whose expertise overlaps with the submitted manuscript. And the final sort of broad role of the editorial board is to participate in the learning experience and training opportunity that is working with CommonHealth. As Anne-Marie mentioned, and as I sort of alluded to, it's a unique learning experience and training opportunity for students to get an inside view of academic publishing and to get more experience with everything that goes on behind the scenes after you submit your paper to, whatever website the journal uses. So yeah, that's just a really quick broad view of the editorial board. Next, Anne-Marie will give you some specific information about the roles and what exactly that looks like.
And now is my slide transition. All right, so I'll just give you a little bit more detail about the roles that we're specifically recruiting for today. Those are bolded on this slide. So co-editors in chief, that's typically graduate students. Maura and I happen to be in the same department. That is not necessarily something that needs to be true of the next pair of co-editors in chief. The first co-editors in chief, Hamlet and Molly, were grad students in different departments and worked together. I love working with Maura. I feel very lucky, but I think it could be really cool to have two co-editors from different departments to kind of diversify that viewpoint a little bit. But all to say, you will have shared responsibility and work quite closely together. If this is a role you're interested in, bear that in mind, that you will be in it with another person, which for me personally makes it much less stressful, much easier to manage, much more doable. Also, another thing that makes it much more easy for me is the support of our faculty editors. So David Sarwer and Jen Ibrahim, who I mentioned earlier, are faculty editors. They provide a ton of support and guidance throughout the process. They were very patient with me when I was getting onboarded and kind of learning the system. So they're fabulous. Another thing is graduate student editors. So this is an editorial board position. Student editors are selected after reviewing applications. So this includes co-editors and then graduate student editors as well. Typically, we try to have a student representative from each graduate program in the college. So we had a fabulous group of students last year from all across the college. Unfortunately, some have graduated. So we definitely want to recruit from all different departments. And this role typically consists of attending and participating in the monthly meetings, serving as peer reviewers, assisting with journal committees and projects. So in addition to all of the academic publishing back and forth that we do, the journal's also involved in a couple of other related programs offered by the college. So this includes the graduate coffee talk series, which offers different workshops and information sessions on topics of interest to grad students. We have a Common Voice podcast, which is our podcast about public health. And then we also have an arm that works on marketing and promoting the journal. And we have a fabulous marketing editor right now, but we could always use more representatives to informally kind of promote the journal in class or via professional social media channels, talk us up to your peers, etc. The student representatives, this is more geared towards undergraduate students. So this might be students who want to help out with some of those journal projects or shadow a graduate student editor as they shepherd a paper through the peer review process, or a co-editor-in-chief as they kind of work through that desk pile of submitted articles. All to say that there are many, many options available at kind of different levels of intensity and involvement for graduate and for undergraduate students. We really want to have that diverse representation across colleges, cross-culturally. That's very important to us. So definitely something that we would like to work on, and we're so glad you guys are here. I feel like I skipped over the actual job that Maura and I do as co-editors-in-chief. And I feel like I accidentally talked about your stuff, Maura. Would you like to do the co-ed?
Totally. Yeah. No, it is all good.
Sorry I got so excited talking about how great everyone else is.
You know, we got to keep in mind how great we are too. No, absolutely kidding. But anyways, moving on. Yeah, some of the responsibilities of the student co-editors-in-chief. As Anne-Marie mentioned, we do receive guidance and we are able to ask our faculty editors for support or advice as needed. But that being said, the responsibilities of the student co-editors-in-chief really help drive what happens with the journal. So pretty much what happens is that when articles are submitted to the journal, or when manuscripts are submitted to the journal, the co-editors-in-chief are responsible for doing a desk review. So that consists of just basically previewing the article, making sure that it fits requirements for submissions, making sure that the topic that's being discussed is aligned with public health, or fits within the public health theme or umbrella of the journal. And also just making sure that the paper is ready for peer review. So after the desk review process, for papers that are ready for peer review, student co-editors-in-chief are then responsible for assigning peer reviewers to the paper. So pretty much this just consists of identifying what the paper that has been submitted, or what the manuscript that's been submitted, identifying what it's all about, and then matching interests or themes present within the paper with expertise of faculty members. So thinking about who among our CPH faculty or other graduate students would be able to serve as expert peer reviewers for the manuscript. After assigning peer reviewers, the other responsibilities of the co-editors-in-chief are to compile peer reviews that have been submitted, sort of discern what the overarching themes of the feedback may be, and determine a decision and pass that along to the authors. So deciding whether to accept the paper, deciding whether to request revisions, or deciding to reject it. Those are just several of the options. So some of that decision making after previewing some of the peer review. And the peer review process can be iterative, and it often is for our journal, as we like this to be a training opportunity for students and for emerging authors. So following through with that peer review process through as many rounds as it may take, and supporting peer reviewers and authors throughout it. And finally, after papers have been accepted and published in our journal, another responsibility of co-editors in chief is to send reviewer thank you emails, and giving them information about how to submit their review to Publons, which is a online system that we use to sort of give credit to peer reviewers, as it's an important part of academic service that is often not acknowledged. Or not acknowledged in a like numerical type way. So we do
not quantified.
Yes, not quantified. Thank you.
Teamwork. Sometimes I steal what you're supposed to say, and sometimes I come up with it.
Yeah, so those are the responsibilities of the student co-editors in chief. I will say it is very this might sound like a lot, but it's nice to have somebody else who helps with it. And it's also such a help to have the faculty editors available to ask questions about throughout any stage in the process.
Oops, sorry.
No, you're absolutely fine. So yeah, the roles that we're recruiting for today are the graduate student co-editors in chief, and then also members of the editorial board, and or just like representatives of the journal to help with some of the other roles that are on the next slide, that I can jump into now. So other roles that are available that do not require being a member of the editorial board. If you would like to get involved with the journal, but maybe can't commit to being a member of the editorial board or can't commit to signing on to the co-editor-in-chief responsibility, we totally get it. You can sign up to be a peer reviewer, and we will call on you if we receive a manuscript that overlaps with some of your interests or expertise. You can also sign on to be a member of our promotion team, who, as Anne-Marie mentioned, help out with social media and promotion of the journal, also creating some visually appealing materials and sort of like easy to digest content for our website, as we have a picture of on the slide right here. Another option or another way to get involved with the journal is to join the production team, and the production team really manages copy editing and formatting and actually making sure that the articles adhere to our style guide when they end up in the online journal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, those are the roles.
Thanks, Maura. All right. I know everybody is thinking this. These roles sound amazing. How do I get one? There is a very brief application form. So the application process, I think, is like 8 questions. The Google form is linked here on the slide, so you could click on this hyperlink, or you can scan the QR code here to pull up the application. We can also share the recording of this presentation and these slides so that everybody has it to reference. And then we just ask that you submit a writing sample and a CV. This helps us to kind of assess your current writing and experience in research and academic writing in particular. The application closes in 2 weeks, so it opens today. It stays open for 2 weeks. So as long as you have everything submitted by the 20th, we will consider you. I'll go ahead and just open up the link to the form to see if I can show it to you guys. So you do have to log in with your Temple account, and then what you should see is something like this, which I will, there we go. So it'll have your email at the top. go through, give us some basic information. You can tell us any position you're applying to. You could also note in one of your responses if you're like, I'm most interested in co-editor-in-chief, but if I don't get that, I'm interested in being considered for a student representative board position. And then just a couple more kind of short answer questions, and then a reminder to email those documents back to us. Maura, did you have anything to add before I close out the recording part of the session?
No, nothing to add. I put the link to the application in the chat in case that's easier for anybody who's here attending virtually live. Maybe we just want to share our contact information before we cut off.
Beautiful. Genius.
Yeah. So all of our contact information is listed here. Anne-Marie and I are the top two. As we've mentioned, we are the student co-editors-in-chief of the journal. Directly below us is contact information for Kim Wing, who is currently our managing editor. So she's responsible for making sure that the journal, I don't know if anyone's heard the expression, make sure the trains run on time, making sure that details don't go unnoticed. She also has been supporting some of the copy editing for the journal. And then underneath Kim, we have David and Jen, who, as Anne-Marie mentioned, are our two faculty editors. So their emails are right there. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Our handle is CommonHealth_TU. Oh, we just got a question in the chat about sharing the recording and presentation. Yes, we can. We will send them out to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can definitely do that.
Yeah.
No problem. All right. Thank you, Maura. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording now, and then we can jump into questions, chit chat, etc.